Hey guys, Nimish here, and you may have just gotten the brand new iPhone, or you might have had an iPhone for the longest amount of time. Whatever the case may be, I'm pretty sure you've seen the App Store, and you might have asked yourself if you were ever capable of creating an app. And it may seem daunting, but trust me, it's not that bad. So, the first thing that you'll need is a Mac. So, after you have one of the Macs, we can go ahead and download Xcode, which is in the Mac App Store. So once you do download this, go ahead, open it up, and it might take you through the installation the first time around. And so just follow the installation process, and once it's all said and done, it will take you to the Xcode welcome screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new Xcode project, and it's going to be a single view application. And we're going to call this Hello World. Let's go ahead, press next, save this to somewhere that you'll find this. Okay, so what we just did is we just created our project. It's a blank project right now, and there's nothing to it. But let me just take you through what the Xcode IDE is. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment, which basically encompasses all your tools into one place. So here we have the project manager where we can look at our files, our programming stuff, our visual stuff, and we can look at the main screen. This is where most of the coding will be done, and here is our utilities area. So we can go ahead and hide whichever one we need. We can make things pop up with these little quick buttons right over there. So the viewController.swift is where you'll be doing the majority of your coding as a beginner, and what we'll be doing is for Hello World, we're just going to be having a button and a label, and when you press the button, the label will change. So we're going to type in label in our search, and we're just going to go ahead and click and drag that in right here. We can go ahead and make it bigger. Here we can center it, and then we can make this to be 36 for the size, and we can go ahead and within our utilities attributes object library, we can go ahead and type in button, click and drag our button in, and we'll just double click this thing and type in change. So whenever we press change, it should change the label, but since we didn't do anything yet, the application will not do anything. So I'm just going to show you guys what this will do, and like I just said, it won't do anything, but this is to just see how the simulator is and everything. So as you can see, I have this set to the iPhone 7 Plus right now. You can choose whichever simulator you want, and it's just based on your screen size of your Mac or the monitor that you're using. So if your simulator is too big, then you can go ahead and scale it down like how I did. So we did have the simulator pop up, and the first time you have it open, it might show you the Apple logo with the loading bar underneath. That's just because the first time around it has to initialize and set up everything, but after that it's going to be faster. So when you do see this, you'll see your label and your change. Now notice the label and change are not centered. That's because we didn't add any constraints. We didn't set the top to be this far away. We didn't do anything like that. When we do stuff like that, then we'll be adding constraints, which are this little thing right here where we can change all the constraints. Now, as you can see, when we press change, it does nothing. So we're going to actually make it do something now. So over here, we can go ahead and open up our assistant editor, and now you see everything's like filled up and it takes too much space. We can go ahead and hide the utilities for now because we don't need that with this button right here. And we can hide this one with this button right here. Alright, so now we have our storyboard and we have our viewController.swift. So what we're going to need to do is create a variable that holds the object so that we can change the variable's or the object's properties with the label. So we're going to do that by creating an outlet by using the control button on your keyboard, clicking and dragging right over here between class and the function. So we're just going to call this label, and we're just going to go ahead and connect that in. So this label can be used throughout the entire class, and this class is everything in between this open curly brace and this closing curly brace. So as you can see, it's a filled circle. That means we did link up this variable with this object. But now we need to create an action for the button. So let's do the same thing. Control, click, and drag this guy over here. And now we're going to change this to action. And we're just going to go ahead and type in change pressed. This is called camel casing, where we don't capitalize the first word and we capitalize all the words to follow. So make sure it says action, change pressed, any touch up inside. And now we have this function. So whenever you press this button now, it will call this function because this button is linked up with this action. This action is linked up with this button. So what do we want to happen? We want the label, this object, this label object, to change its property. Which property? Its text property. So this object is with the word label. So we're going to type in label dot text, and you can just press enter for quick fill, is equal to a string. A string is a set of characters within the quotation marks. And we're just going to change this text to be hello world. Yeah. So just to make things spaced out and look easier on the eyes, we're just going to add extra spaces there. And so all that should happen right now is whenever we press the button, it'll change the text to be hello world. And just to give you a sense and not to confuse you at all, I'm going to change this label to a question mark, an exclamation mark, a question mark, like what? So I didn't want you to think like, oh, wait, this is label and that's a label and that's a label. And so no, this label object currently has the value or its text value of question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, and we assign that to label. And when the button is pressed, the label variable, which is linked up to this object, its text property will change to hello world. And so whenever we do press it, it should change. So let's go ahead and save it and run it. All right. So when we press the change button, it says hello world. So this is your first app, and I know this app isn't the greatest, most advanced app in the world, but it's somewhere to begin with, right? And as I take you through more videos and I show you more and more Xcode functions, you'll truly see the power of Xcode. And after a few videos, I want you to be linking up this topic with this topic and be like, oh, that can go with this, let me try this and that. Programming is all about experimentation, and it's taking the basic ideas, connecting them together to create something big and maybe like even a powerful app. Like YouTube is a powerful app. You're even watching this on YouTube, right? So it's just taking things and combining them, and we're going to be working through how to do those small little steps and topics so that you can go ahead and create something big. And I'll be trying to upload videos every week so you guys can get more and more knowledge about more Xcode functions. And with that, if you like this video, smash that thumbs up button. It really does mean a lot to me. And if you want to be notified whenever I upload a new video, press that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.